Good evening and welcome. You are watching Profit 360 on NDTV Profit and I'm Nupur Talwar Suri. Over the next half hour, we bring you the top news from the markets as well as around the country and global news. First up though, let's take a look at how the markets fared at the end of the week. Now the Nifty Sensex rose 1% to record highs as IT heavyweights drove the indices higher. Harsh is joining us for a quick check on what took place on the Lal Street.
Well, IT stocks lead markets higher. In fact, the Nifty as well as the Sensex touched life highs and largely led by the IT index. 4.5% higher on the Nifty I.T only today in trade, 0.75% on the Nifty 50. Let's pull up the Nifty IT index for the week. And that's what we'll see. That last spike that we are seeing in trade leading to the Nifty IT index clocking life highs. Let's pull up the Nifty 50 contributors first off. You had TCS, Infi, Reliance, of course, but look at TCS and Infi. Both of those alone contributing to over 100 points, positive points on the Nifty 50 today. And we've closed 225 odd positive contributories and 186 points higher. So a large bulk of that gain of 186 points today contributed by the IT stocks. So really well placed. But let's look at the heat map because largely we saw positive in terms of other stocks as well. 33 advances that we saw today versus just the 17 declines on the Nifty 50. We also had the likes of Shriram Finance, Dr. Reddy's contributing, Axis Bank up 1.5%, a significant contributor on the Nifty as well in trade today. Among the losers, we saw Divis, Asian Paints, Maruti, some defensives as well as Pharma seeing some bit of, along with Auto, seeing some bit of tepidness. Let's pull up the sectoral heat map, see which ones have done well. And of course, Realty was the top loser in trade, not impacting the Nifty 50 per se, but nonetheless the top sectoral loser. Along with it, you'll see PSU Bank and Auto also down around 0.5% or so. PSUs were also trailing. But within the gaining pack, well, FMCG did fairly well. We also saw Nifty Energy post a gain of around 0.1% to close the week off.
All right, Harsh, thank you very much for that. Well, it was an exciting day for IT investors. The Nifty, it has seen the best day in 6 months. The Nifty IT index closed 186 points in the green, up by around 1%. Nifty IT companies added 1.6 lakh crore rupees in investor wealth. Now, IT companies have added 130 points to the Nifty's gain. IT giant TCS recorded its best day in 45 months. TCS shares rose most today in 3 years. The company's first quarter results are also in line with estimates. We spoke to K. Krithivasan, the CEO and MD of TCS, about the company's growth projections and plans.
We keep tracking the kind of projects that we do, the kind of customer confidence in what they want to do, and what kind of projects get reprioritized. We still find some amount of volatility there. And we also seen instances where some of the projects have been paused at a shorter notice. So when that tendency reduces, right, when projects don't get paused at a shorter notice, or when reevaluation of long-standing project comes down, it will give us more confidence. But currently, customers continue to be evaluating projects, looking at which is the right place to invest. So as long as that investment with a stricter scrutiny continues at the same level, we have to be cautious.
Well, we also spoke to Sandeep Agarwal of Sowillow Investment Manager about his top bets in the IT space, and Girish Pai of Bob Capital about his FY26 growth valuations. Here's what they told us.
See, we run a PMS, so I will give a disclaimer that whatever name I say may our clients and we may be holding it in our PMS. But I think, turnaround story in the large cap where leadership changes happened. I already named that. That I think is one of the very good picks, Tech Mahindra. And in the mid cap space, I will, try to find a ER&D company which is not looking good right now, but there is a deep value. So there are a few names in that space. So any one name can do better from here.
You saw a couple of years of very strong growth driven by what people call compressed transformation. We talk of second half of 2022, maybe the full calendar year of 2022, we saw extremely strong growth for the sector, which is probably like 3x the normal trend growth of the sector, so to speak. And I'm talking Indian IT services sector, which I think is probably normalizing. And once we get through the FY26 spike, which is probably pent-up demand driven, you will probably see growth back to that 6-7% kind of level for the tier 1 companies. Tier 2 companies will definitely grow faster because of the lower base. But I think from a multiple standpoint, they're at a significant premium to the tier 1 companies. I don't think the earnings growth gap that existed between tier 2 and tier 1, which has been the case, which is pretty significant in the last 2-3 years, is going to sustain going forward.